This afternoon, we're going to give a briefing and an update from the chair, school board chair, Teresa Jacobs. We also have school board member District 1, Angie Gallo, and school board member District 3, Linda Cobert is here with us as well. And also Dr. Jenkins will be providing an overview of things that are happening currently within our distance learning and some other things as far as our school feeding and school cleaning.
Let me acknowledge on behalf of our entire school board that we understand how very challenging and stressful these times are for everyone. And we regret that any additional stress or burden is being placed on our students, our parents, our teachers, and all of our 25,000 employees due to the order to close our schools and begin distance learning. But having said that, we are not alone. All school districts across the state are under the same order, and that order is designed to slow the spread of COVID-19 in Florida to allow our hospitals time to keep up with the needs of those that are infected. This is about saving lives. There's one thing, though, that I know that we as Americans absolutely dread, and that is the loss of control. And it's something that we're all experiencing in a variety of ways today. So today, I want to spend our time focusing on the things that we can control. For our students, we understand that you never planned on spending your spring break social distancing or in isolation. And we know that you never planned to come back by not coming back and learning at home. This is a difficult time because you're away from school and from friends and from teachers. But here's what you can control. We know that you can and we know that you will find creative ways to stay close to your loved ones and your friends. You'll find new ways to celebrate and stay safe. In fact, in this arena today, you will be the greatest teachers. We believe in you and we believe in your resilience and we believe in your innovative spirit. Teachers, we are so grateful for your commitment to your students. You've demonstrated it in so many ways already. And we're so grateful to your willingness to take on this challenge of educating through distance learning. We know you will succeed. We have the utmost confidence in all of you to continue to educate Orange County's children remotely. Parents, we understand. Most of us, actually all of us, are parents. Some of us have children in school and are going through the same struggles you're going through. I have 4 adult children. My youngest lives in New York City. I have my worries for him. My other 3 and my entire family, I worry about financial security. We all have our same worries. We really are in this together. But here's what you can control, whether you're working from home or you have to work as an essential employee, or you're not working at all because you've lost a job as a result of COVID-19. Here's what you can control today to help your children. Create structure for your children, for them to feel safe during these confusing times. And above all else, be patient with your children. I also want to share with our families that if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you need resources to help you through these difficult times, again, you're not alone. Families who are facing financial instability because of the impacts of COVID-19 can contact United Way's 211 information and referral crisis line. That you literally dial 211. Also, this is a highly stressful time for our children. 211 can connect you with organizations providing mental health counseling. It's as simple as calling 211 on your phone. So remember that if you become concerned about any loved one in your family and how they're adapting emotionally to this situation, as well as how you're adapting financially. Employees, please take care of yourselves and your family while you're at home. And we are committed to creating the safest work environment for you while you're at our schools. If you are working from home, thank you. If you're working at a grab-and-go meal distribution site, thank you. If you're continuing to provide food for our children in need, or if you're an essential employee and still reporting to your work location, thank you. And to our broader community, you have always supported Orange County Public Schools and our students. You approved the half-penny sales tax that has provided us so many resources, but today in particular, it has provided us digital learning available to all middle and high school students. We have provided all of them with a tablet or a laptop if they didn't already have one, and that is because of your dedication to our students and your generosity. And because of that, our high school and middle school students all are equipped for digital learning, and a significant number of our elementary school students are also benefiting from these devices. I want to take this opportunity to also thank our superintendent, Dr. Jenkins, and her entire team for their tireless work managing a crisis of the magnitude we have never in this country seen before. I want to thank our fellow board members for their commitment to our students, our dedicated employees, and this entire community. And finally, while we're separated by distance, remember this: we're united in spirit, but we're also united in purpose. Be kind and patient with each other. Be kind and patient with yourselves. And as we all work through this, we would ask for your patience as well with Orange County Public Schools as we adapt to this ever-changing environment. And remember this: in the end, we will get through this together. You will be the generation that not only endured, but triumphed over the 2020 worldwide pandemic. Now, let's hear from our superintendent, Dr. Jenkins, who has done an incredible job of managing through crisis. Dr. Jenkins.
If this were the first day of school, it feels like another first day of school. If this were the first day of school, I would be visiting and speaking with young people. Don't quite have that opportunity, but we did send video messages through social media, and all of our middle and high school students, when they pop open their laptop, or when they did that this morning, had a message from me as well. The message we want to send to our young people is we're going to get through this, as the chairman said, and that we believe in you. We are supporting you, and we're going to continue your education. As I've said on several instances, two things are our core purpose at this point. That is, one, to make sure we continue our young people's education, because they cannot afford to have that come crashing down along with everything else they're dealing with, and then to make sure we're feeding those students who depend on OCPS and our lunch program, our breakfast program, our supper program, to actually get their nourishment. And so we want to keep those things going as well. Let me tell you a couple of numbers. This morning at 8:45, we had 50,000 logins. I say that number because, number one, it will grow higher, but I want folks to understand the sheer volume, because we have more than 50,000 students that have the capacity right now. Here's what I want to stress. We need just a little bit of patience around logins and any kind of technology glitches. Principals get information, teachers relate to principals those concerns, and our technology staff are on it. Just need to ask parents and students to have a little bit of patience. If you keep in mind, it's not just our 200,000 students that are doing distance learning, it's all across the state. And so we have probably taxed all of our service providers to make sure that those children have connectivity, and it will get better, but today might just be a little bit rocky. Same is the case on the first day of school. We always have some concerns because of the sheer volume and the first login. So we beg for patience on that. I also want to mention, anyone who has questions, always use our OCPS website as a resource. There's so much information there. We're organizing it into an FAQ document so folks can query and look at what their questions are, but that's the first place that you look. And for parents, you'll be able to look at your school's website and actually email or contact directly your child's teacher. That's always a possibility as well. When in doubt, go to our website. Our IT staff also said, would you please recommend to parents and to teachers, any staff that are using our distance learning, in particular our digital learning, that when in doubt, turn the computer off and turn it back on. It reboots the system several times. That will be the solution that you can get to. So IT professionals all over would thank you if you would first try turning your device off and then turning it back on. We've got network all over Canvas, all over Launchpad. I want to mention our elementary students who are not fully one-to-one as middle and high school students. We've got a hybrid model there. Some of our children are getting packets, over 13,000 mailed out last week to families who do not have digital devices at their use. And then we also had another 18,000 that are provided at school sites in case someone was not reached and they say, I need a packet for my child's learning. They can pick it up at their school site through grab and go, or call the office, and they can certainly get it through the front office as well. Which brings me to another point. Our front offices are open only from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So school offices are open, but they only have 2 administrators in each of those offices because we tried to keep as many people stay at home or working from home as possible. So I need parents' patience as well. If you need to call the school, make an appointment to pick up something, to bring in a laptop that has a serious issue that we will take care of, I need you to call the school for an appointment so we don't have any large numbers congregating in those school offices. Only 2 administrators in each of those offices, so keep that in mind. A couple of other tidbits you might be interested in. Daily attendance is being logged for our students. It's tracked when they log on with their computer. If they don't have a computer, it is tracked via emails or by calling in. Some of our parents that don't have computers at home at the elementary levels, if they have a smartphone, they still have the ability to contact their teacher via email. If any parent has not heard from their child's teacher, please make a point to contact the school. You can use the school's general email address or your teacher's email address. It's at the bottom of the web page. And I so appreciate families that don't have technology. Usually someone in that family has a smartphone. They can contact us that way. I especially want to thank the media. I saw scrolling across the bottom of several stations asking parents to contact their school if they had not heard by this time. And so I really appreciate your partnership as well. We've got included all kinds of activities that can be done with or without digital access. We've added resources, we've added links all over our webpage. OCPS.net is every parent's friend. Let me speak just for a moment about parents who may feel a new appreciation for what teachers have to do it every day at school. Certainly appreciate you. You are our partners. And I know it's not always a parent because some parents are still working. Parent, family member, anyone who's working with that young person at home, we want to thank you for that engagement, and you may email your child's issues. I want to thank our teachers, of course, as the chairman said, tremendous creative effort. If you see some of the things that are online, we're going to post some of those wonderful websites, Facebook connections. Kindergarten teachers actually seeing all of their students on their screen all at once. It's pretty fascinating what we're able to do via technology, but it will never replace that face-to-face interaction that we love so much to have with our children, with our young people. It's what we have to do at this time, and we are going to make it work. Grab and go. So last week, we averaged about 100,000 students, families coming through with students at our 50 various sites. That means if they're getting 2 meals at a time as they go through a breakfast and a lunch, over 200,000 meals were distributed last week. This week, we have some interest in consolidating a couple of areas if the participation has not been as high as we had projected. So we pick sites where we think we can reach the most of our students, and then we make some adjustments. So today, flyers are being given out in those lines so students and families understand if they've been consolidated with another nearby campus. We're also expanding some of our campuses based on that participation. Again, I want to commend John Rivers and the Four Rivers Company for their efforts as well. They're helping us with some of those feeding sites to help our families. You may have seen on the news, they were over at ACE giving out family meals this past weekend. If you have a special needs student, so the rule is what we are required to do to account for those meals is that parents come through, but the children are with them in the cars. I want to make very clear, if you have a special needs child, you do not have to bring that child with you. If you come through our lines and you say, my child is a special needs child, or I have 2 at home that cannot come, you will be given those meals as well. Starting Wednesday, April 1st, we're consolidating 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for that meal distribution. OCPS.net will give you any changes in the locations. Those folks who are going through lines today will have flyers that certainly inform them of any change in their particular location. Never too soon to say anything about extracurricular activities. Last week, shared the information around proms. While I know my young people were certainly disappointed, I got a few individual emails from some youth that were disappointed. We need both parents and our entire community to remind our young people any moves that we make at this point is for their health and for their protection. There wasn't a great outcry, but some disappointed, and I understand that disappointment. Perhaps there'll be something we can do in the future to try to make it up to them. Many of our hotels were canceling events anyway. We're pushed back to April 15th. Proms were coming up the first week in April. So it was time to make that call before many more investments were being made in prom. The second most common question we have is around graduation. Need to say for the record, it's too early to call, but we are watching, we are looking, seeing what is being done across the state. It is too early to say whether or not we're going to be able to host graduations. We've got creative ideas. Should we be back in school, there's a possibility you could actually host it right there on campus and have some participation or digital viewing of the event. The bottom line, again, will be what is safest for our children and for our community. Had a lot of questions about that. Just need to say officially, it is too early to say, too early to call it. Lastly, let me thank all of our employees, especially those who are leaving their homes during this stay-at-home period, to help make sure we keep OCPS running with those two vital provisions that we make around feeding our children and around educating our children, and for all of those who are also working at home to help keep OCPS functioning. We appreciate you, commend you for all that you're doing during this time period. Don't have a roadmap, don't have a crystal ball, can't tell you how long it's going to last. All over the state, people are suggesting and commenting that April 15th will probably not be a point where children are actually able to return to school. Not ready to call that either at this point. Let's just go one day, 1 week at a time, supporting our young people and supporting this community and keeping them safe.
I just want to send out the message to everyone who's going to be experiencing a little bit of frustration, parents, students, and teachers. Let's all just act with common sense, compassion, and kindness. That is what's going to get us through all of this.
This is something that we haven't done before, and we're kind of building the plane as we fly it, as we like to say. I'd also like to thank our teachers. They're working really hard, and this is new for them, and it's not easy. So we're so appreciative of all the innovative things that they're coming up with, everything that they're doing to work hard for our students.
You can follow us on Twitter. You can look on Facebook. And what was that webpage? OCPS.net. Going to keep everyone healthy, support all of the efforts of our local government, and keep our community safe during this crisis.